All right, let's get into it. Oh, wrong screen, second screen. There we go. Kevin.
Yes, sir.
Let me make sure your mic's on. Mic check, mic check.
Yes, sir. Check 1, 2.
He's from South Africa, so it might sound a little different, but I promise you it is English. He is speaking English. Partially English. All right. Kevin, what's up?
Nothing, man. Good to be here. Awesome setup to see here. Good to be here. Good to be in front of your fans here. It's, love it, man. Love it. Love what you do.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. You are obviously the CEO of a prop firm. People were trying to guess which prop firm. Which prop firm is that?
Funded Futures Network. Founder, CEO. Yeah, and again, trader myself. I still trade today. So still trade for a living today. My trading pays my bills. So active trader. Most of the people that work for me are active traders too. So.
What do you normally trade? What's your go-to trading strategy?
I trade divergence, delta divergences, and of course price action like most people.
Delta divergences.
Yes, sir.
So you're doing looking for reversals.
Yeah, mostly reversals. Yep.
It's funny because sometimes I think to myself, I'm like, man, it would be kind of nice to just trade reversals, but I've just never been that good at it, to be honest.
You know what? I've got an indicator that shows me, and it's been consistent for many years for me. So I keep on using it. I mean, not every day. I have red days just like anyone else. But
wait, hold on a second. You're telling me that you have red days?
Absolutely.
No, that is not possible. Kevin, you must be full of shit because I heard that only bad people have red days. No.
That's not the way trading works, man.
Yeah, it's weird because I went to the world of trading, stuff in the past, and I've talked to real traders who make money trading, and it's funny because when you talk to a real trader, most of them will tell you straight up, like, yeah, the red days are part of it. Like, if you can't manage the red days, then you can't make the money.
Agreed, man. And owning a prop firm, I see it every day.
Every day.
Red days, man, kill people.
Well, that's the best part is you do see it every day.
Yeah,
you get to see the heroes show up
and daily payouts greater than.
Oh, Emilio just dropping more money in the chat. But that's funny too because you think about it. For you get to see such a large subset of data, right? You get to see traders with every strategy in the book.
Right.
With every style, the guys who go big, the guys who go small, the guys who look for consistency, you get to see every single strategy.
Right.
And it's funny because I bet if I asked you which strategy is the best, you would say there are people who trade certain strategies and that make money that make no sense. Right, the argument of always the negative R&R or the guys who only scout for 10 points. People say, "Oh, that doesn't work," but sometimes it does work.
You know what? I'm of the opinion any strategy will work if it's managed right.
Because it's not the strategy that makes you money; it's you that makes the money.
100%. And it's, again, like I tell a lot of traders, and I speak to a lot of my traders too.
Yeah.
I always tell them it's a very personal endeavor, and it's got to do with yourself being and your inner self and your ability to manage your trades. Your emotions, as they say.
Sorry, I got to show reaction here. Look at this fucking thing. The NASDAQ boner candle to the 840s. I told you, boys and girls in the chat. Hey, I told you. Daddy likey, daddy going to get them boner candles today. Look at that thing. 840s now, 838s. She's still going to the absolute moon. And it is, I cannot express how good this is. Look at it. Oh Lord. It was funny because, sorry, Kevin, we're back.
Yeah,
that was action right there. That was some action right there.
That was good, man. I was watching candle here.
I was telling everyone this morning, I'm looking for these longs above this 800 level, and look at that move right now. It's funny because people always ask me, Patrick, how do you know that the market's going to go higher? And I say, I have no fucking idea. Correct. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I do have a strategy. With the 15-minute opening range, if we break out of that 15-minute opening range, I know from my years of experience that is a very important level. Breaking out of that gives me some confidence that we're going to get that 20-30 point move to the upside, and then I can take my profit.
Right.
What as a divergence trader, do you have a set target or a risk? Or are you kind of based on more so just the trade itself?
You know what? A lot of times I'll target the previous swing high, swing low. But again, it depends on if I'm in mid trade and it prints a reversal or divergence the other direction, I'll close my trade. So
Yeah.
I don't sit and watch the charts for 8-9 hours a day. You'll go insane.
No.
I trade from 9:30 till 12, and that's it. Sometimes I'm done at 10 o'clock.
I like you, Kevin. We're gonna be friends. I like you. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, again, dude.
I will call bullshit on any trader who tells me they trade all day.
Yeah,
It's
agreed.
just impossible. It's impossible to have the amount of focus that you need for 8 hours straight. You're gonna
Agreed.
get burnt out. And I think that's what really causes people to blow up massively, right? You have those days where you just you're grinding it out and you're fucking just trying to trade back to green, and you might get successful. You might have a few. I've had those days where I grind back. I'm down $1,000, whatever it is, and then I get back to break even, and then all of a sudden the next trade's red and it gets massive, and I blow up my account.
You know what? I cannot tell you how many times I've done that. You get green, and then you get greedy, and then
accounts, each account was 150K, so that was a total of 20 million. I blew up 20 million one time. Who's muted? No one's muted. It says we're muted. Are we muted? I don't think so. His mic is off? No. What are you talking about? People always come up with some shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
It seems to be working.
Yeah, it seems to be working.
I think it's working.
There we go.
It was back now. It was off. It was bad for a second. Came back. Okay. Sorry,
The mute
Chad. We're still
button,
working
do we
on
not?
this
All
stuff
right,
over
yeah.
here at the BDH. No, I'm a YouTuber, man. I'm not a tech guy. But that's what I wanted to point out is as you, I love having you here today because again, I feel like you can really share a lot of insight that most people, they just talk shit, ICT is the best strategy ever. But it's for someone who's actually seen thousands of traders trade, you're well, that's not the truth because, if I look at all of my traders at my prop firm, there's not one strategy that stands out as the best strategy I've ever seen.
Yeah, the best strategy that I've seen is manage your losing days.
Yeah,
Shut it down, shut your screens off, and move away. I always tell people the story, and the traders that are listening today that know me and that have spoken to me, and I've spoken to, I'm going to say 80% of our funded traders I've personally spoken to, and I'll get into that a little bit later on why that happens. But I always tell them, if you can manage your losing day, shut your losing day off. I had a big red button on my desk. When I hit that button, I would shut my screens off, and I have to leave, right?
A big button?
So, a big red oh shit button on my desk.
Yeah, well, what's funny is I remember back when I used to trade small caps on DOS Trader, and you could literally, I think it was on DOS Trader, you could name different key hotkeys,
Right.
And I would always have an oh shit button.
Right.
Well, which with futures you have the cancel all, exit button, which is very similar. But yeah, back in the day, it's if you wanted to get out of position, you just fucking oh shit button. I'm out of everything. I'm flat.
Done, yeah.
No matter
Done.
what. If I'm short or long, I'm just getting out of it flat.
Yeah.
Put me flat, baby.
I mean, I tell you what, trading's not easy. Trading's a hard game, but you gotta listen to the rules, have rules in place, And I see a lot of traders oh no, companies with less rules. Dude, it just doesn't work. I can take all the rules away, just give you an account. It's not going to help you at all.
Well, it's also not going to help when people go to get a payout and every single person now has $1 million payout waiting.
Right.
That's also the thing people don't think about is when I look at the rules of a prop firm, as much as I want the rules to be better for the trader, I also want the rules to be sustainable. Right? Because I don't just want to join a prop firm that says, hey, there's no rules. We don't care. Just make money. Because that prop firm is not going to last. We've already seen that. That was FTT written all over. Everybody, the whole entire industry was bragging about how loose and how easy it was to make payouts with FTT.
Right.
And we saw how that went. It just, you can't sustain
if it's that easy, just put 10 grand in an account and just full port your account and go. If it's that easy to make, you'll get one payout, but next day you'll have nothing left. Believe me, I've tried.
I agree. One more little check back here with the NASDAQ right now. NASDAQ up there to that pivot point. We broke out of the 15-minute range. Anybody that's just now tuning in, welcome. We had our very simple 15-minute range here. We were holding up down here at the lows. You can see on the 15-minute candle, wick. And
Trotsweister.
is that South African? Mac on Trotsweister?
No, could be. Not sure.
But there's our breakout, 15-minute breakout. You can see how beautifully that broke out. Little bull flag there on the 2-minute chart. And then rip or right up there. If you go to the 1-minute chart, you can see it a little bit better there. There's your first candle to make a new high once we broke out of that level. So this is a textbook play from the 800s up there to the 850s. That's 50 points. I don't know about exactly how your guys' rules are, but what's your consistency rules look like over there?
So we got two evaluations. One's got a 25% consistency, the other one's got a 40.
Yeah.
The 25% consistency, you don't have to trade a minimum amount of days. Where with a 40% consistency, there is a minimum amount of days.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can technically pass in 4 days if you really want to. If you trade perfect, you can pass in 4 days.
Well, that's that's an interesting thing that I try to really preach at the end of the day is. Consistency obviously is the biggest goal for everybody, but especially for the prop firms. Like if you're trading a prop firm that has consistency rules, then making 10 points, making 20 points a day consistently, like that's how you get paid.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I always say this, and people in my Discord that are watching, because I got a guy streaming us in my Discord too. So, I always tell people, making money is not the goal. Consistency is. Withdrawal or passing is not the goal. Consistency is. And everyone wants to pass, and everyone wants a certificate on the wall. But what does that certificate help you if you're broke? Nothing.
I want money in the bank.
So exactly.
Fuck that certificate.
Yeah, I mean,
fuck that certificate.
It's everyone wants to pass quick. That seems to become the goal today. And I mean, when we started FFN, the goal was to help traders. And in our Discord, we do just that. You know what I mean? I'll speak to people. I speak to traders all day long. And I'll help them, and I type back to them. It takes a lot of time, but that's what I set out to do. That's what I'm going to do.
That was something that really kind of stood out the last time that me and you were talking. Is you talked about how you really do kind of offer a much more kind of like hands-on approach, than some of the other prop firms out there. Your price might be it might not be the cheapest price in the industry, but what you're offering is a higher level of service compared to a discount firm that would never even respond to your email if they got it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, so some of the things is, we had a guy. We in the beginning when we started, we had guys blow up their account because they didn't understand how the platform worked. So we made them do onboarding calls, and it's a one-on-one Zoom call to help make sure your platform's set up right, so you don't accidentally enter an order and blow your account, stuff like that. Know the rules. They go over the rules with you, and then once you pass, you get the option to jump on a call with the risk manager, and it's a one-on-one call. It's not a group call. It's a one-on-one call, and you can reach out to that risk manager. And a lot of my traders are assigned to myself. They could reach out to me. This morning when I got out of bed, there was a guy that messaged me and said, hey, he's probably listening today. He said, hey, can I reach out to you? I said, yeah, today's not a good day, but I'll reach out on Tuesday. Get some advice, just ask around, just talk. I mean, trading's hard, man. Trading's hard. People need help.
Well, I mean, it'd probably be better for you marketing wise if you just told everyone that it was easy and they could just get rich if they just bought as many accounts as possible. Of course. Somebody had a good question in the chat. What's kind of like the normal life expectancy of a funded account that you feel like? I don't know if that's too proprietary info, but I feel like there's probably a stat somewhere. Most people don't hold an account more than a couple days, probably.
A lot of people blow it up first day. I'm not gonna.
First day.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Again, the rules change, then people get all excited, and then they just force trades. They don't want that red day; they want that green day, right?
I know. I always wondered about that. Because with I don't want to name names, but with a very large prop firm that exists in the market space today, they have the $200 a day, 5 days rule.
Right.
And as funny as that sounds, it really is kind of a mind fucked.
Yeah.
Right. Because let's say you have 4 really good days of trading. And then all of a sudden, you're like, I just need one more $200 a day, just one more. And then all of a sudden, you take a trade, you're down $200. So then you're like, fuck, I gotta make $200. So then all of a sudden, you're down $1,000.
Oh, bro.
And it's like, I've heard that story and I've done it. You get to day 5 and all you need is $200 to get a payout. Right. And it is the hardest thing in the world to do. You couldn't make $200 to save your fucking life on that day.
You will just guess. That's what you'll do. You'll guess and you'll screw it up and you'll blow your account.
But it also, it fucks with your psyche too because, again, not every day is a good day to make $200. Right. There's those days where you can literally close your eye, press a button, and make $200. It's fucking simple. It's easy. And then there's days where the market chops around and does all kinds of crazy shit, and it don't matter what you do. You can go long and short at the same time, and somehow you'll still lose money.
Right.
People think that like you can just buy an account,
Right.
like buy 2 accounts, go long and short in both accounts, and make money somehow. Trust me, it ain't possible.
I tried to. I tried it.
Everyone's
Fuck,
tried.
everyone's
You know,
tried
like
it.
you would think that you're geniuses. Like, when I
Manipulated,
first
yeah.
started. When I first started in the prop firm space, it was like, guys, can't I just buy like 10 accounts, have 1 account long, 1 account short? I'm gonna get rich. You're like, watch what happens to that, because it'll literally take you out on the long and then take you out on the short, and it's awesome.
Yeah, man, I tell you what. And you know what? Something else that you asked me the other day, Patrick, is, you know, what's the most you see traders do that screw trades up? And I tell you what is the biggest thing I've seen with people, and especially people that are assigned to me as a risk manager, is I watch, and I've got parameters set up so I can catch them when they go on tilt, is when they enter a trade and they do not close it.
Ooh.
That trade will run against them. Eventually, they hope the trade will turn around, and it just doesn't.
How many people have you kind of ran across that have left orders open and then just got screwed?
Oh.
Like, you know, they take profit, they don't move or stop.
I don't even have fingers to count, man.
I mean, I remember I had a real brokerage account, a real money account, and I made like $5,000. I thought I was the smartest person ever, and I closed down the platform. I went home, you know, I stopped, whatever. Next morning I go to log in, my account's literally at 0.
Oh, yeah.
And that was like a $10,000 account, one of my first like futures prop firms accounts. And I was like, what in the fuck? What happened? You know, and I called my broker. I'm like, hey, I was up 5,000. They're like, well, look at your orders.
Yeah.
I'm like, what orders? Like, I didn't have this. They liquidated me because I had, you know, 1 contract open overnight, and I blew up the account. You know, and it's like, whose fault is it? Is it my fault? Is it the broker? I mean, it's our fault, right? The trader themselves. Like, and that's why I have really become so adamant on like, hey, every day when I'm done trading, I press that cancel all button 20 times.
Yeah.
I just press it so many times. I'm like, there's no way that something's open.
Agreed.
Yeah, like
Agreed.
that really is the best strategy. Make sure you close all your freaking orders.
And we get that often. And you know, the biggest problem I see with people like that is they're not 100% sure how to place bracket orders or, you know, stop losses or whatever you want to call it. And it ends up the trade hitting the take profit and the stop loss is still sitting there. And then overnight comes back, touches stop loss, and then just liquidates the account. I mean, we have that a lot. And that, again, but it's normally 99% of the time, it's people that don't take the onboarding call with us. They don't go through the time, take that 45 minutes to set their charts up right, have one of our specialists show him how to run the platforms, and, you know, get your stuff set up right. So that does not happen. I mean, that can still happen if you go click buttons wherever, but I mean, we try and take as many precautions as possible. And again, as a trader, that risk management falls on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
and as me,
I mean, that's kind
dude,
of...
I click buttons. I mean, my kid got onto my laptop, onto my platform one day and clicked buttons, and I was 10 contracts short on a $125,000 account. I was like, whoa! And I came back and I was like 80 grand in the hole.
Yeah, well, fuck.
You know, it just. Did I lock my computer? I do now.
I always see like some of the people posting like stories of how, you know, like their customer service gets like an email. It's like, hey, you know, I went to bed last night and then I woke up and my account was blown. I think someone broke into my house and traded my account, you know? And it's like, oh. Yeah. But you know, you never hear the story of how somebody like broke into their house and made them money.
No, never.
It's never happens like that. How is it that every time someone's house gets broken into, the trader, the person who's robbing them just blows up their account? Why do they never make them money? You would think that like there'd be one story of somebody who's like, dang, I woke up and there was $1 million in my fucking prop firm account because I got so rich off of that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's,
in terms of, I think this is a good question too. When you look at successful traders in your prop firm, how the majority of the successful traders, like how many of those traders are like kind of the guys that go for the holy grail, they go for that $100,000 a day, compared to the guy who's just making that $1,000 a day consistently?
Zero. I can tell you.
Wait, hold on. You have zero?
They don't. They don't, because they don't last. And because they over leverage that size of account. I mean, our best trader is a lady.
Yeah.
And she trades 1 contract, maybe 2, on a $150,000 account.
But I see influencers all the time bragging about how they made $100,000 in one day.
Of course you can do it. My cat can walk across the keyboard and make $100,000.
You
know what I mean?
Oh, not the cat. Come on. Not the cat.
Of course, any cat, whatever.
Oh,
whatever
man.
you want.
What about a dog? Maybe the dog could do it. The dog could do it, maybe. I don't know. That's kind of cool. The cat. All right, NASDAQ again stuck there at that pivot point. Who would have thought? Pivot point tapping into there multiple times now. So a little bit of a pullback here. We've just been consolidating right below that pivot point. Today is a very non-news day. I know people are like, but it's Monday. Well, a lot of times on Monday with no news, you kind of end up getting these kind of choppy moves in the market, and that's kind of what we're experiencing. I would say, right now we're stuck below that pivot point, and we're just kind of hanging out today. We got our boy from Funded Futures Network. Tell people, you said you've been in the business how long now as a trader?
As a trader since 2008.
2008.
2008, I started trading. Was the first time I took a trade in my life.
I graduated high school in 2006.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't even know what trading was in 2008.
Yeah, and I traded forex 2008.
Oh yeah,
But I found futures 2013,
okay.
And I found my consistency with futures.
Where was the first place you traded futures at?
First place, Ninja Trader.
Ninja Trader.
Yeah.
You put your own money in the account and said, "Fuck it, let's go."
Well, I tried them. I tried to. I put 10 rand in the account, and the next day I had nothing.
There you go. That's all. Hey, yeah, it happens.
And then I thought, well, crypto is the thing, right? So I moved over to crypto, and I traded with the Kraken,
Ooh.
highly leveraged Kraken, and I remember putting my whole bonus in there, and 4 days later I had nothing, not even a keyboard or a monitor.
It's crazy. I always think, I'm like, man, the market is so fucked because people are like, oh, it's 50-50 chance that you're going to win. I'm like, no, it's not. Because if it was 50-50 chance, 50% of the traders out there would be millionaires and the other 50 would be poor.
Right.
But really, everyone's just poor, and a very small majority of traders actually make money.
Yeah.
So the 50-50 thing just doesn't work.
Right.
It's kind of like when you put a USB plug in, it's a 50-50 chance that USB plug is going to work or not, like when you plug it in, and every fucking time it's always the wrong way. I don't know how that works. So no.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the whole parameter is with that 50-50, but I mean, again, like you said, if 50-50 worked, half the people would be rich and half the people won't.
Well, that's a good way to look at it.
It leans more towards a 90-10 split, to be honest.
In terms of, so you said you were trading a lot of the reversion, delta reversion. Mm-hmm. What is that normally on NASDAQ futures?
Yes. NASDAQ, yes. I'll do some Russell some days, but mainly ES, and those are the two I'll watch. Is NASDAQ and ES.
Do you like the ES more because it's just like a little less volatile?
I don't. I actually like NQ more.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you trade the ES more.
I do, yeah, but there's more trades that show up on just because of the manipulation on NASDAQ, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's more market manipulation going on NASDAQ than what the ES is.
Well, I would say I say to people, like, the NASDAQ loves to trap, right? Like, it's just like, it is notorious for just wanting to trap traders. And it also can give you an edge because now it's like, if you know the NASDAQ loves to trap, well, then let me figure out what the trap is. And speaking of traps, would you look at that, chat?
Yeah.
On the chart, looks a lot like a trap to me. They break it down below this support, kind of like right into here. People are like, all right, it's time to get short. It's going to break to the downside. And guess what? It squeezes straight to the moon because now all those shorts have gotten trapped. And, well, now they're going to probably trap above. So this is a perfect time to just not get in the market. Well, how do you feel about that, Kevin, in terms of
Agreed.
being in the market? Is it like, are you just in it nonstop? Do you have a trade going every hour of every day?
No. I 1, 2, maybe 3 trades a day, man.
2-3 trades a day.
That's it. Sometimes I don't even trade.
Hey.
If the trade doesn't show up, I don't trade. I mean,
you can't do that. You got to trade every day.
You got to trade every hour, right?
Well, that's the thing is, right? Like, if you look back and you look at all of the days in the market, majority of days are just like bad, choppy price action days.
Yeah.
And that's not like to say that you're a bad trader, that you can't trade that. It's just the fact of, like, that's just not sustainable long term.
Right.
If you want to make money long term, you've got to find some type of consistency. And trying to trade volatile, choppy markets, like, that's just not, you're not going to find consistency because it's impossible, because that price action is not consistent.
Right.
If the market makes a new high in a choppy, like, kind of low momentum market, well, that's a great place to get trapped at.
Right.
It's a great place to get blown up your account. So
agreed.
I'm totally fine. I think the biggest light bulb moment for me as a trader really came down to just getting to a point where I'm like, hey, I I don't have to make money every single day.
Right.
But I really don't. I don't want to lose money every day. That would be nice, you know. Like if I can just not take a trade and then just walk away green, like it's a pretty good day for me. Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's and it hurts. And the only way that you learn is if it hurts. You know. Again, you can go sim. I mean, that's why a lot of people kill it on sim, and then they flip to a real account and they just don't make it. That's because you start trading different when you're trading with real money.
Yeah.
When those charts are when that's moving against you, and that P&L goes red, and it's 1,000, 2, 3, 4, or even 100 or 200 or 300 bucks. That you mentally change. You become, like I say, a 2-year-old child. You know, when you lose a trade, you lose your mind, and it's not about the money always. It's about the loss, right? And you become a 2-year-old child. You just don't think rationally anymore. And that's what you need to realize as a trader. And that's what you need to see before the emotion kicks in. You need to catch that and walk away. You know what I mean? That was a pivotal moment in my trading when I realized that I could walk away and come back and make money later.
Well, like I always say, like the worst thing is having a red day on a Friday, because not only do you get to experience it on a Friday, you get to spend Saturday, you get to spend Sunday thinking about it.
Yeah, dude, funny story. So I tell you, Fridays, I stopped trading Fridays because my journal showed me that I was red on Fridays.
Really? Just like in general, just stop.
Just stop, because my journal showed me I was red on Fridays, right?
Okay.
So I thought, okay, well, let me quit trading on Fridays. And then my Thursdays started being red. I was like, what the frick is going on? Like, what the hell's going on? I don't understand this. And then I realized it's just that exact thing that you said. I don't want to be red on a Friday. So I'm concentrating not being red on a Friday, and I just screw my trades up.
I looked at my stats recently. It's funny because Tuesday is my biggest profit day of the week.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is mental, because Monday I normally start out kind of like slow. I'm like, all right, I want to start the week off green. Yeah. And then Tuesday it's like, all right, it's fucking game on.
Yeah.
And then I have a big Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I'm like, okay, I had a big Tuesday, so let me kind of like relax on Wednesday, and then let me go hard on Thursday. And then on Friday, I'm like, I don't even want to. I'm like, I'd be totally, like you said, like I'd be totally fine not even trading on the Friday, because I'm like, I'm already green on the week.
Yeah.
You know, like, do I really want to give back that profit? I want to avoid that. So the NASDAQ's still squeezing here. The bulls are coming. Mm-hmm. Look at this thing. Like we said, on the hourly chart, where are we at right now, chat? Where are we at right now, chat? And market's still pushing higher here now. Through that 800 level, up there to the 66s. After that, you got 21,900 coming up next. We got pivot points there on the 15-minute chart. We just pushed through that pivot point there at the 855s. And, well, everything is just kind of squeezing higher right now. And we liking it. We going. All right. What is the one thing that you feel like that Funded Futures Network does better than anyone else out there? Or maybe not better, but just like, what are you proud of as a company?
So, I mean, again, focusing a little bit more, focusing on helping traders develop their skills, especially on the emotional side of things. Again, a technical skill I can teach you in 15 minutes. I can show you a MACD cross, or I can show you a EMA cross, and that works. I can show you an EMA bounce in the 15 minutes. I mean, all that stuff works. However, it's how you manage your trade. And again, when people fail and they get into the funded account and they're doing something wrong, I'll book a call, or the risk manager will book a call with them and go over this stuff and say, hey, listen here, how do we help you? What do you need? Do this, do this, do this. And when someone hits up my support or our support, and it's an issue like that, we take that trader and we kind of work with him, and we try and develop his skills in the trading. Again, it's up to the trader to make the changes. However, we'll try and push him in that right direction, as opposed to just leaving him. I mean, in the beginning, when we started, a guy resets 5 times in a day. I'd pick up the phone and call him and say, hey, what are you doing? Quit. Like, you're just spazzing out.
What was the answer? Hello?
Oh, bro, they wouldn't answer the phone. Some of them would, but they wouldn't answer the phone. Yeah.
Bye. At some point, it's got to work, right? You just keep buying.
Of course. So, I mean, we pride ourselves in trying to help the traders actually develop their trading skills, as opposed to just leaving them out to their own devices. And again, we can only do so much, but I mean, I can show you my Discord. You go look at my Discord, you'll see there's people that say, better be a better trader because of the consistency rule that we've imposed. And once you explain that to them, they actually kind of understand it. And if there's people that don't get it, I get that. But and that's okay. However, I mean, and again, of course, our support staff are just crazy. We work on I think it's a 10-second turnaround time in answering a question or answering you. I mean, that's unheard of in this industry.
Well, you know what's funny is I would really love to see the stats based on prop firms that have no consistency rule versus prop firms that have a consistency rule.
Right.
And to actually see, like, does it help traders or does it not hurt traders? Because honestly, for me personally, you know, if I look at my Tradeify results, there were plenty of days where I could have went for more profits. Like I could have made another $5,000, another $10,000, but I could have also lost all the profit that I made on that day.
Right.
So I think for me, especially because I know my history and I know the way that I trade, I've had plenty of days where I was up. I've had days where I was up $30,000, $40,000 on the day, and I've walked away in the red.
Right.
So I know it's like if I keep pushing and I keep pushing and I keep pushing, I'm gonna get to that point where I'm gonna max out my brain power for the day, and I'm just gonna go on tilt, and it's gonna become a very bad day for me. So with Tradeify, with these other prop firms, like you said, with having that consistency rule, it has forced me to like be consistent. Because now I'm like, I don't need to make $30,000 in a day. Because even if I did, it's gonna make it harder.
Right.
Like then I gotta make another $30,000 tomorrow to get fucking passed. So I'm trying to avoid doing stupid shit, and I think the prop firms really do force people to like follow the plan.
Yeah, and I mean, the Funded Futures Network rules are based around my personal trading journey and what I deemed necessary to make it in the trading industry. You know what I mean? What I deem it necessary to. And I mean, there's a couple other rules that I could impose all my rules, and people just won't buy an account because they're just like, "What, this guy's crazy." But the main set of rules that I've imposed in there, consistency number one, just because the trade runs 100 points doesn't mean that's where your profit target should go the next time, because it's not going to go there. You know what I'm saying? So when you take your profit, I mean, take some profit, take some, and I've seen you trade too. You move your stop into profit fairly quickly. I do the same thing. You know, I'll do the same thing.
Well, that's also just based on experience, right?
Exactly.
I know that if I put some crazy target and I let it run, guess what? It's going to pull back and it's going to stop me out, and I'm going to go on tilt, and then I'm going to try to reverse the trade, and then I'm going to blow up the account. So it's like, I know that if I start trailing, I get my 20 points. Like, it sounds funny, but I tell people, I'm like, 20 points a day, that's my goal. Because there's going to be days where I enter a trade and the market's going to go 50, 60 points. But guess what? Like, you know, in my brain, I'm like totally fine with 20. So if it gets to that 20 point, I move my stop, and I'm like, hey, everything after that is just free money. There's no risk. It's free. Right? Like I've already locked in my 20 points. It's still going higher. I can trail it. I can move my stop. Yeah. And I think that right there is a great idea for a lot of traders. Use a trailing, like you move your stop with the price action, move it up into the green, because now it's like, hey, I can't lose. Yeah. So all I'm doing is just maximizing my profit. It might keep going higher, totally fine. Whereas if I put a target on a trade and I put it at whatever level, and the market is like pushing up, and it gets really, really close to that fucking level, and then it pulls back, guess what? I'm going to just be like, I'm going to go full retard status. I'm going to be sitting there and I'm going to be like, oh, I was 2 ticks away. Yeah. I was 2 ticks away from taking profit. I've got to hold. And all of a sudden it starts pulling back. And then,
you know, it's that thing of having to be right. That's the problem with us, right? That's the problem with that. We don't want to be wrong. So you put your profit target there, it's like, it's got to hit that. It has to. The market doesn't have to do anything. You know what I mean? And I've heard a lot of people say, the market's going to go here. Dude, I have no idea where the market's going.
Market's got to pull back.
Got to do something, right?
It's got to pull back. Nothing. Like, it's went up 500 points. It's got to pull back. I'm like, what about the market going up 500 points tells you that it has to pull back? Because that's what I love about futures as well. You know, with stocks, there really is kind of like, okay, you know, at a certain point, Nvidia's got to pull back. Like, it's just getting to that point where it's overpriced. But with futures, it's the whole market. So, you know, if every stock's going up, the NASDAQ can just go up can go straight up and just print green candles for hours. Right. So trying to pick the top is the worst idea. Trying to pick the bottom, same thing for the sell-off. I remember during COVID, you know, the market was like 1,000-point moves up and down.
Bro,
and
I got destroyed in COVID, just so you know.
I mean, I think every reversal trader got screwed in
I got
COVID.
Destroyed.
Because it was there was no bottom and there was, no top on the squeezes. It was kind of just like if you were trying to trade reversals, you were going to blow up.
Yeah.
But it was great for me because I could just basically jump in into like pretty much any candle and get 20 points. Like if a candle broke the downside of another candle, like it was guaranteed to go down at least 20 points.
Yeah.
That's why I love my style of trading for me, because it's just like trading with that momentum. If the market wants to go higher, let it go higher. If it wants to go lower, let it go lower. And speaking of that,
Not sure if I missed it, but let's hear this discount Mr. Funded Futures Sir Folded Hands Medium Light Skin Tone.
Medium light skin tone. I like that they did the skin tone there. Right now, the Nasdaq still pushing up here. That 21,900 level still going. The 15-minute opening range. If you're just now tuning in, we had this all drawn up. Our big focus today, getting through that 15-minute opening range here. There's your 15-minute opening range. The breakout, that bull flag, ding, another little breakout through that pivot point, another breakout. Now the market just going higher. So if you're trying to short this, well, it might be a bad idea. Let it go. Let it go up. Let it go down, Let the market do what it's going to do. You know what I mean? That's the funny part is people, I don't know why people are so obsessed with being right. Like you said, it's this mental, idea that we like have to be right. I'd rather be rich than right.
But it's so difficult to change that, Patrick.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the same way. But I hate being. I'm always right. You can ask my wife; she'll tell you that. But
trust me, my ego is the size of fucking Texas, and that's the hardest part for trading.
It is, man. And it's difficult to change that. And I mean, again, I go into a different mode when I trade, and it's okay to lose. It's okay to be wrong, and you got to just accept it. You know what I mean? And there's certain things in my personal life that I had to change to make my trading work.
Yeah.
I had to change, I had to change certain things in my personal life for that to be. I didn't have to change in my trading, but vice versa. So, again, the biggest thing for me, and I tell everyone, and everyone that's spoken to me knows that I tell them to journal their trades and let your journal tell you what you need to do. It's like a business, right?
Did you see my journal entries this morning?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I wrote in there, I'm retarded on every day last week. People are always like, Patrick, do you journal? I'm like, yeah, I wrote in the journal that it says I'm retarded for 5 days in a row and I made money. So that's kind of like for me, the YouTube is my journal, right? Yeah. I make the videos on YouTube. I talk about the ups, the downs. I talk about the payouts. I talk about the red days, the psychological of that, and just that whole process. So obviously, I think I do journal in a way, but I also read. I think I tell people, I'm like, for me, if I have a bad day, if I have a red day, I know exactly why I had a red day. Because I didn't follow the plan. I didn't follow the rules. Yeah. I try to get in early. I got FOMO. That's 8 years of just knowing me. If I have a red day, I know exactly why I had a red day. It wasn't because the market was bad. Right. It was because I was bad. Yeah.
I mean, the more experience you get, the less you can journal. Yeah. I mean, I know of a guy that's been trading for 10 years. He only journals his bad days.
Yeah.
He doesn't journal his good days anymore because when you're in the zone, you're in the zone. You know what I mean?
Well, and if I look back at my trading career, I couldn't tell you about the wins. I couldn't tell you about my biggest profit day. I couldn't tell you any of that. But guess what? I can tell you about all the moments where I blew up accounts, where I lost everything, where I went full retard. I know about those moments.
Right.
Because they're ingrained in my brain. I remember buying $30,000 worth of some penny stock back in the day thinking it was going to go to the moon because everybody on the internet said it was going to go up, and then the next day it went bankrupt and it was worthless. I remember that because $30,000 back in the day for me was that was everything. I put everything into that stock because I read online that it was going to go up, right?
Yeah,
there's no way they're going to go bankrupt. No way.
No, right.
And then bam, the next day bankrupt.
Yeah.
It was insane. I woke up, my account was zero. It just said zero. I'm like, what? What just happened?
Oh, bro. I can tell you what, crypto got me like that, man.
Yeah.
Crypto worked me over hard.
I traded crypto, what was that? 2017, 2016 when it was going crazy. And I remember I had a lot more money in crypto than I should have, but I kind of got in at the right time. I was riding the wave, and I would set alarms, and I would wake up every couple hours every night.
Right.
Just to make sure, to see if I was up or down. And my girlfriend at the time, she's like, "You're a fucking idiot. You wake up every 2 hours to see what the price of the crypto is." I'm like, yeah, because you never know.
Right.
You never know. The market might just go fucking up 100 points, 1,000 points overnight, and I got to get out. My life, I was consumed. My whole entire life was consumed with trading, and I was in a bad place mentally, emotionally. Everything was bad.
I think we all come through that, man, at some point.
You either get through it or you quit, right? Like that's the thing. How many traders have you worked with that you've seen like that were right there, right at the finish line in terms of like trying to figure it out, but they finally they gave up and they quit? I've
seen a few. I've definitely seen a few.
It's so hard. Seen a few.
Yeah, it is, man. I mean, again, you know, when your breakthrough is right there at the failure point. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. But that also goes both ways, right? I tell people, like, I had a guy the other day. He's like, Patrick, you know, I've been having a really hard time. I can't get it. I can't figure it out. And I said, listen, I'm like, there's no set time on you figuring this out. There's no like you have to do it tomorrow. You don't have to become profitable in a week. You don't have to become profitable in a month.
Right.
But like you gotta like have some type of plan. You gotta have some type of like goal and like consistency. Yeah. And like if you can just manage to not lose money. Like consistently, just manage to like basically have a $20 red day, no matter what. Like your worst red day for an entire month is $20.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Like you're at a point where you can like tweak things. You can start to figure it out. Like, okay, I lost $20 on Monday. Why did I lose 20? Well, because I was fighting the trend. Okay, let me see what happens next week if I try to not do it again. But you've got to find some type of consistency. Yeah, like if your P&L is one day 100, the next day 200, the next day 300, and then the next day is down 1,000. There's some major issue, and it's not your trading, it's your actual psyche, your mental.
I tell you, man, and again, when I get pinged 3 o'clock in the morning, when one of these traders are on tilt and they've lost a pile of money in the funded account, and I go look at it, and it's one day they've made 15, 20 grand, and then they lose 12 grand overnight. Bro, I want to just cringe, man. You know, I'm forced not to just shut the account down, but because I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I'll ping them. I'll call them 3 o'clock in the morning, and all my risk managers will know the same thing, and we'll do that. And the guys that are in my channel can attest to that. And again, we can't catch all of them, but we want to catch some of them and help some of them. You know, catch as many as what we can. And it's just that one red day. And to everyone watching you, I'll say this to you, from a trader to a trader. You can just stop that one red day. Just walk away. Shut your screens off, or whatever the case may be. Find a different avenue to go do something else. Walk away for the day. Come back tomorrow.
Well, that's the best, right? I'm sure you see it as well. When traders have green days, they probably trade the less. They trade the least, like in terms of like screen time. A lot of times I feel like traders have green days. They're like, oh man, I made money in like the first 15 minutes, and then I was done.
Right.
And I walked away. But then they'll be like, fuck, the next day. I traded for 8 hours straight and I lost everything. And I'm like, oh,
dude, you can't focus that long. There's no one that has that focus span in this world that can trade for 8 hours and still keep their head straight. You can't trade for 4 hours and keep your head straight, man. Come on.
Yeah, no.
Like, be honest with yourself.
I think 2 hours is like the hot spot. You hit that 2 hours, especially because the way we're trading, right? Market opens at 9:30, you trade till 11:30, and then it's like, hey, it's lunchtime, right? That's a perfect time to walk away. It's perfect time to walk away, but people they don't want to do it.
Yeah, man, it's an addiction to trading. And again, I was there. I remember, dude, and it's a pity I don't have screenshots here to share, but I mean, I'll post it somewhere. Maybe I'll post it in the chat, in the comments here later on. But I'll show you what my chart looked like, a Christmas tree with all my entries all day long. I was there.
Chris, trying to force the market, it ain't a good day unless you got some good Christmas trees on your chart, you know?
Yeah, man.
Just no actual reasoning to just what was happening. Like, you got long, you got short, you got long, you got short, and it's like, what was your trade? Well, no, I just fucking.
And you go have a look and you put it down to a 1 minute candle, and you entered 17 times on a 1 minute candle. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Then you know that's a good time to walk away. If you got fucking 20 entries on a 1 minute candle, you got problems. You got real problems.
Yeah, man.
Here's the NASDAQ pushing up there almost to that 21,900 level. Let's see if we get a little bit of a pullback here. You know, dipping into this pivot point again would be kind of nice, but the way this thing's been grinding, it's just been higher highs, higher lows, and the bulls have been winning. So great time to, stay out of the shorts if you're looking like that's maybe a funny question too. Like, do you feel like there's some people that just, no matter what, they're just fucking bearish?
Yeah, 100%.
Like the market can be going straight to the moon, and they're like, "Nope, it's time to short." I'm like, "But why?" They're like, "No, I gotta get short. I hate the market.
It's gotta turn around. That's to turn around here.
It's up 10%. There's no way it can go higher than this."
Yep. Exactly.
And it's always the best is like always that same person will say this is the top. Like right now, someone's sitting there on the internet and they're like, man, I'm gonna short right here at 880s. It's never gonna go higher than that. No way. And then it'll pop up above the 900s and then drop. Then it'll become a short, right? Like it's just that's what you know. I think the chat really is the best indicator because if I see the chat and they're all like, Patrick, it's got to pull back. Like, what are you talking about? It's just short all day. I'm like, well, okay. Yeah. Okay, perfect.
It's just short.
Like, I can't wait to see your performance here. And then it's always funny, too, because those same people, like, they're all adamant about the short. And then when the market goes higher, they disappear for some reason.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, another fake knee.
I tell you what, again, and I always have this thing in my head, and it's a mentor that sent this to me. And he said to me one day, he said, hey, listen, if you think you know which way the market's going, you're already wrong.
Yeah, no. I tell people every morning that I'm like, look, this is my thesis, right? The market, we're going to break through the high and we're going to push this level, or we're going to reverse, we're going to break through this level, and then we'll look for a short. And I'm like, yeah, but you're just predicting both ways. I'm like, exactly. The market can go up, it can go down. And as a trader, I don't really care if it goes up. I don't care if it goes down. I just want to wait for my setup, which would be either breaking through a key level and then building out a flag or whatever it is. Like, I really have no personal preference. I can make money both short and long.
Agreed.
So, and I mean, you know, in this day and age, I just feel like it's longs all day, baby, because Trump's back. We go to the moon. You know, one tweet, we could be at fucking 25,000, no problem. Trump comes out with one tweet. Today is the day we're getting rid of the IRS. Boom! Market's at 25,000. Literally, it's fucking 8,000 point rip.
Yeah, that'll screw your consistency up.
Well, imagine. I remember last week when I think out of nowhere, there was like a 100-point candle.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, how's 2025 been for you guys? You get a lot of volatility, a lot of people blowing up, or how's it?
I mean, we've had, you know what, since we had a rule change here about about a month ago. I don't exactly remember when we changed the rules here, but 4 weeks ago, we've had a lot of influx of people coming, you know. And again, I think the rule changed to make it easier to pass, or not easier to pass, shorter to pass, because we were at 17 and 15 days, 7 days and 15 days. And we had a lot of influx of people, a lot of people, you know, getting past it and getting into the funded accounts. We've got our record amount of funded accounts right now, which is great, you know, I mean, which is really, really good. I mean, there's still people that get through that, you know, blow it up first day. And again, like I said, people don't make use of the resources we have. And that's I really honestly think they blow the account up because they don't speak to the risk manager. And again, the risk manager call will go something like this. Chill out, get used to this account, flip 2 micros, trade 2 micros, get used to the account, make a few big green days before you go and full port the thing. You know what I mean?
No, sir. No, I cannot do that, sir.
Of course.
Sir,
none of us do.
I just bought this account and I need to make $1 million tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, that's also my favorite. People are like, man, Patrick, I've lost everything. I got no money left. What? Yeah. I need one more account. I'm like, bro, you don't need one more account. No. You need to get the fuck out. You need to walk away. Like I have told people straight up, like just straight up, my bro, just quit. I'm like, just quit.
Yeah.
I had a guy that literally told me, he's like, I spent $100,000 on, you know, on evals and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, just quit. Yeah. I'm like, you can always like just quit for 6 months, quit for a year, whatever it is. Right. You can always come back. Right. But like you're not gonna overcome this whatever this fucking psychological hurdle that you're currently battling, because it's hard.
It is.
And it's the worst thing for a trader is that if you start thinking about what you've lost, it just fucks everything. Because now it's like, damn, dude, I lost $10,000 last month, so I got to make $10,000 my first day in February.
Yeah, agreed.
No, I got to make $10,000 because I lost $10,000 last month.
It messes with your head so much.
No, it's the biggest. Yeah. And that's why most people will end up failing. And that's, again, kind of preaching with the idea of like when you first start out, if you can just keep your losses as small as possible, that really like it will help your psychological like journey so much more. Because if all you're focused on is making back the money that you've already lost, it's game over. You're not gonna make it back.
Yeah, no. And again, you know, I taught my brother to trade, and he trades for us. And I taught him, you know, within 6 months, I had him on the charts, and he was funded within 6 months. But again, he didn't have any garbage from before. He didn't have any bad habits. So again, and I taught him to stop when he's down. That's the first thing I instilled in his brain. And I'm not sure if he's watching here today. I'm sure he probably is. And I instilled that in his head from day one. Just walk away. And I tell you what, dude, he makes me proud. When looking at his trades, it's like, bro, you walk away? Like, how do you just do that? Because I sometimes still struggle with that today. You know? Sometimes it's okay. I walk away and it's like I come back and it's like, okay, let me try one more here. You know what I mean?
Honestly, my 12-year-old, he's fucking really good at trading because he has no, like, he doesn't care. It's not real to him. He has no like attachment to the money.
Right.
So I told him, I'm like, hey, look, the goal here is to make this number bigger. Yeah. By the end of the day. And, and to him, he's like, oh, okay. So if it bounces off this little line, I'm going to buy, and if it goes up to this level, I'm going to buy. I'm going to short. Yeah. And that's all he thinks about. He doesn't think about the money. I literally, like, I'm like, hey, I'll give you $100 if this account is at 55,000 instead of 54,000 by the end of the day. And he's like, he loves it. He's all about it. 12 years old. He's like, when can I start trading? I'm like, well, you got to go through school still. Yeah. But that is like, I think if you train 12-year-olds to play trading like a video game, right? You know, the same way that they trade like video games, be like, that's how you trade. Yeah. Because when you're playing a video game, like, you just know, like, hey, I want to get this many points to win the game. Yeah. And you don't think about like, like, has no attachment to the money, the financials. Right. You're just thinking about the money that are the points, right?
Gamify it,
yeah. I mean, he's also like, my 12-year-old's also trying to like convince me that I should give him money so he can buy these like fucking, pets online. Then he's gonna raise them and then he's gonna sell them for more money. I swear to God, this kid, 12 years old, he's already got a whole empire of fucking ideas.
Entrepreneurial spirit, man. I love it.
And wants to be just like me one day. So there's the Nasdaq again, trapping to the upside. Little pop up there. We went to a high of 94, pulling back there. And now just kind of dipping around, man. Dipping. We just dipping around here. Kind of look to see what is the next play here. How often do you get new traders who come along and they just cannot find any type of success at all, and it's just like they're just doomed because they have. Why do you think that people come to this space, like, because they've already failed with their own personal money, and then it's like this is kind of like the out, like.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure of the number, Patrick.
Well, do you see that there's more traders who have already lost money, like in their personal accounts, that start trading prop firms, or do you think it's the other way around? Do you think more people who have never traded personal capital now trade prop firms?
I think with the availability of prop firms today, I think it's the other way around. I think they'll come and try prop firm first. Back in my day, when I started, there were maybe one, maybe two companies around, and that would be the other way around. They failed. No one knew about prop firms. You know what I mean? But now with the availability of all these prop firms, I think it'll probably be mainly people that are just trying out. Don't need to buy a platform. Buy a prop firm account to get a platform, they get the data feed, and they take it from there. And I think it's a good thing too, for prop firms, not just because I own one. I think having that little bit of money on the line, whether it's $100 or $200 or whatever the case may be, having a little bit of money on the line changes your psyche a little bit, right? As opposed to just buying an account, getting data, and then just trading on some. I think having that little bit of accountability towards yourself, the money factor, is a good thing for traders. It'll teach you, it'll eventually sting hard enough that you'll actually make the changes. So I think it's a good thing.
I like it. I like it. It's a good idea.
Yeah. A lot of people say to me, "Oh, well, you know what? I messed up. Will you reset my account?" I mean, my staff, they don't. They'll go and have a discussion with them. Say, "Look, listen, man. What does that help you as a trader? If I reset your account, sure, it saves you $100. But how does that teach you anything? How does that help you?
Free? Come on! I need more free resets.
Yeah, right.
I need more free resets. I need more everything.
Long, right? But it doesn't help the trader. I mean, we try and discount them once in a while. We throw discount codes out there for the streams and stuff like that, to help them. But again, there's got to be a dollar attached to it. Again, it comes from me. It sparks from me. How much money did I lose before I actually started to change my stuff and actually listen to myself and impose rules and have sticky notes all over my computer? Or how many times did I replace my monitor because I punched it or threw my keyboard out the window? You know what I mean?
How many times have you done that?
Oh, dude. When I stopped, Patrick, when I started to buy 4K 32-inch monitors, they're $400 a piece.
Yeah, I got this fucking $2,000 55. It might be an expensive punch.
Yeah.
To be honest, I've never punched a monitor.
Oh, bro, I've punched many.
How's it feel?
Not liberating, because now you pissed at yourself because you broke your monitor. At least you can't trade any further, right?
How does that feel? Tell me about how that feels.
No, bro.
Oh man,
I've thrown my mouse.
Asked about.
I
think it's a good question. We talked about it a little bit, but kind of focusing here on why you're actually here with the Funded Futures Network. What's you told me before, but the end of trade drawdown.
Right.
Explain the end of trade drawdown for anyone out there who doesn't understand it, because it is a little, not that it's confusing, but it is something different that no one else is really doing.
Right. So, all it is just, it works on realized profit. So if you're in a trade with two contracts, or in a trade with one contract, and your trade goes up and it comes back down against you, while you're in that trade, your drawdown doesn't move, right? So as soon as you close that trade and you realize that profit, that's when it moves. So if you 2 contracts long and you're up $400 and you close one for $200, your trading drawdown will move up to $200. But if it goes up, it comes all the way back down against you. While you're in that trade, your drawdown doesn't move.
Yeah,
That's what end of trade drawdown means.
Yeah, so if let's say you're up $1,000, it pulls back, stops you off at break even.
Yeah.
Your drawdown stays exactly where it was.
Correct.
I mean, that's like I think I told you before. That's pretty unique.
Yeah.
And I do like it because it does force. I mean, it doesn't force people, but it also allows people to give them some room for the trades to breathe.
Right.
But it also like rewards, again, consistency and following the plan. Because like, hey, you locked in $1,000 on a trade. Okay, great. Now your drawdown has moved up.
Right.
So that means if your next trade, you're an idiot and you go and you lose 3,000, well, obviously you're going to probably blow the account based on the size. So
right.
I think that is a great kind of strategy for traders to be like, hey, at least I'm not being penalized if I'm in a trade and the trade goes in my favor. I move my stop to break even. I move my stop into the green.
Right.
And I want to give it some room to run. Then I'm not penalized, if it does pull back and stop me out. Because plenty of times I'll be in a trade. I'm up, I don't know, $1,000, $5,000, whatever it is in the trade. And I start moving my stop up. And all of a sudden the market just dips down. It stops me out. And then it goes right back up. I'm like, God damn it. But with you guys, I'm not going to be penalized because I'm not going to have to be like, damn it, now I just screwed myself with my trailing drawdown.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, again, it stems from my trading experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unrealized drawdown is crazy, man. Like, why would you even do that? I mean, that's just a trap hazard, in my opinion. And again, end of day drawdown doesn't really teach you something. It doesn't teach you to build your account, right? Again, in the evaluation, it teaches you to build your account up a little bit. Having that mindset, going through enough evaluations, you'll eventually build your funded account up because you won't go that low. You know what I mean? In our funded account, it's static, by the way, just so you know. It doesn't. It only moves up $100, but never actually grows after that. But
Amelia in the chat said 7 days is crazy, yet people still want to become a full-time trader. Hey, that's like the people. I get people all the time. They message me like, Patrick, if I buy your course, how quickly will I start making money? I'm like, maybe never. Right. It's just trading it's a marathon.
Yeah.
The people who sprint, the people who make a lot of money really quickly, they don't last. It's easy. It gets to your head. If you make $10,000 in a day and you've never done that before, I pretty much guarantee the next day you're going to end up losing a lot more than you've ever lost before because in your head you're like, well, I can just keep averaging down because I did it yesterday and it worked out, or whatever it is. There is a plan. So.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, again, trading is hard, man. And again, we set our rules to try and help people as much as what we can. We can only do so much. The trader's got to do the work. But again, if you have a look, you just go through our Discord, go read through our Discord, you'll see what I talk about.
Someone said you do have a static drawdown
in the funded account. Yes.
Nice. And then how do the payouts work? I'm going to go to the bathroom. You can explain that to the chat.
The payouts work. We don't give payouts. No, I'm just kidding. The payouts work. So when you can, as soon as it's a 40% consistency rule in the funded account. So which means 40% of your total profit can't be more than, or 40% of your biggest day can't be more than 40% of your total profit. So again, and then once you reach over that, the minimum withdrawal is $1,000, and you can withdraw that day. We process it within 24 hours, and a lot of times it's within an hour. It's in your bank. So our funded account withdrawals are very, very quick. They're very, very fast. And again, if you go into our Discord, join our Discord, you'll see how fast the withdrawals get processed. And there's some people in the chat here that'll attest to how fast they get processed. A lot of times, same day, it's in your bank because we send a wire. So. Yep. So I see there's a lot of South African guys here in our chat here. So I just want to shout out to them here. Friends. I mean, they'll recognize this tattoo.
I got some friends from South Africa actually. A lot of South Africans in South Florida. I see there's a lot of ask if a South African can trade. Yes, a lot of South Africans can trade or do trade for us. So what was that? The last Rugby Cup, right? Didn't South Africa win?
Oh, dude, we are the most winners in the world. We are the best
winners in the world.
Absolutely, we're the best rugby players in the world.
Ooh, I love it.
Ja. Do you mind if I flip for 2 seconds to Afrikaans and just say something to them?
Yeah.
Ja, ek wil net vir julle sê, as julle wil kom leer om te trade, leer by hierdie ou, maar kom trade vir FFN. Ons sal agter julle kyk. Ons is hier vir julle boys.
What he just said was, if you speak South African, you get 100% discount using the code PW.
Yeah, I know. I said if they want to come trade for FFN, we've got them. We'll look after them.
I like it.
Yep.
Activation fee?
Activation fee is $120. However, with the PW code here, you pay $0. As long as you have the account, you'll pay $0.
Fuck, this guy.
Yep.
Lekker.
Lekker.
Lekker. That's like good, right?
That means, it's a very diverse word. It means good, but it can be a lot of different stuff. But
Yeah. I do love a good a braai.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
braai. You can put some meat on the braai, have a nice little barbecue with the boys.
Do you have a braai here, Patrick?
I don't. My friend
Come on.
Fort Lauderdale's got a braai.
Well,
but
we only need a couple of things to do a braai. So.
I know. I think literally they're coming back from South Africa this week. It would have been funny to have all the South Africans in one place.
Yeah, man.
Good times. Good times.
Yes, sir.
All right, NASDAQ. What are we doing? NASDAQ still chopping around up here, kind of holding up. The bulls are being a bit relentless here. They're just not letting it dip much. We did break out here for a second, put in that higher high, pulled back. If we go and look at the bigger time frame, nothing wrong with kind of looking at that bigger time frame, seeing what's going on here. We got a little bit of wick there on the 15-minute chart. So I think if you're really looking for the safer play here, you really want this to kind of give a fake out to the downside. We need like one good wick on the bottom of that candle to get just to like let me know that there are buyers kind of sitting down here in this level, because I just be worried about if I do get long right here, how quickly could this reverse without really having any type of like pullback up here. So 21,900, it's right there. I mean, everything. You got the rest of the market. You got the NASDAQ here trying to push up. You got the ES trying to push up. I mean, it's bullish. It wants to go. It's just hard to get long after that big move. Just nothing wrong with being a little patient. We're trying to be a little patient here. I think that was. I was telling people earlier, like if I went back in time and I was more patient through all the times where I had bad entries, whatever it is, like if I just was more patient in general, that I think it would save me a lot of heartache, a lot of time, and also a lot of money.
Absolutely, I'm an impatient man, very, and that hurt me more than you. I mean, even today, I gotta really work on my patience. And again, that's one of the little things that I had to change in my personal life that eventually affected my trading. I had to learn to be more patient in my personal life.
Yeah, I told you to be here at 10. You got here at 9:50.
Yeah.
You just weren't patient enough.
No, I was driving around the block 4 times, man. I'm just kidding.
Wasn't patient enough. Oh, man. All right. So we'll talk a little bit more about your trading. You said you do that Delta divergent.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I'm pretty skeptical of Delta. Explain to me what you look for in the Delta and how that all...
So, I mean, if I like to follow the trend, of course, trend is friend. So I like to follow the trend, and if it's in a pullback, in a bit of a pullback, I'll look for 3 drops in the delta. So if the selling delta is dropping and it's making lower lows, I'll look at that. And again, I use the RSX. The RSX is an indicator, or like an RSI. It's just coded a little bit different. And again, it's got to show a bit of divergence between the lower low and the higher low on the RSX or the RSI, and that's where I'll wait for a bullish bar, and that's where I'll take my trade. I'll wait for it to break the previous high before I take the trade, and then my stop goes between the swing below the swing low, and my profit target is usually a 1-to-1. And again, depends on if it's on the uptrend, I'll look for a reversal, or we'll call it a reversal pattern. I'll look for the delta that decreases going up, and then I'll close my trade.
I like that you said the 1-to-1, because it's funny because a lot of people think that a 1-to-1 risk reward is unprofitable.
Not if your strategy is 80%, hits the nail on the head 80% of the times.
Well, I mean, really, it could be 51% of the time.
51%, you still make money.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, my strategy, I'm sitting like at 73% right now for my win-loss ratio, and I actually have a little bit of a negative R&R, just because, a lot of times I do take profit early, and then my stops end up being, where I place them, and it's hard, right? It's easy to let your trades stop you out, but it's hard to let your trades hit your profit target.
Yeah.
You feel like that? It's like you're in a trade, you put a profit target, and you're like, I'll just take it. Can
dude, I tell you what,
$800 profit instead of waiting for the 1,000, and then it fucks up my overall win loss. It was fucked.
Dude, you know what? When it gets close to my take profit, I'm like, I'm fucking hovering the close button, button. You know, it's like, do I take it? Do I not? Do I take it? And you know, a lot of times it'll actually hit my profit target, but I close it.
I mean, I would say 99% of the time I end up hitting my profit target, but it's just like the mental of like, because I do have like that PTSD where I'm like, fuck, I was, I'm so close to my profit target, and then it pulls back, and then it just keeps going lower, and like I know it never gets near it again. So I think you got to read the room in the sense of like, if the market it's like going, it's like, all right, let it go. But if we start, running into resistance, we're at a key level, whatever it is, like I got to be like, okay, it's okay to get out here. Get out for a smaller profit than you originally thought you're going to get, just because you can see on the chart, stuff is starting to tell you that this is a possible reversal zone. Like right now, if I look at the NASDAQ, I'm like, hey, if I take a breakout trade from the 875 and we get stuck at 887, it's like, do I want to just be like, fuck it, I'm going to keep holding no matter what? Oh, I'm going to be like, maybe,
at that point, what are you risking? You're risking your whole trade for another 5-point move. Nah, close it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's, again, you got to look at it that way. You got to read that way.
Yeah, well, there's the old theory too. Like never, like if let's say you enter a trade and you get like a 30-point candle and it goes up, like don't let that 30-point candle, don't let the market come back down and take out that 30-point candle. Like if you're entering breakouts, whatever it is, like you're ending a certain trade and right away you're in the green, like don't let that fucking candle come back and just take you out. Because make sure you guarantee some profit.
Yeah, secure the bag, man. Secure the bag. Secure part of it anyway.
Well, because if I look back at my stats and I'm like, hey, it's weird, am I more profitable by locking in profit, or am I less profitable?
Yeah.
Well, I don't fucking know, because I'm profitable. I'm not gonna sit around crying about the 5 points that I missed. No. The 2 ticks. Like, God damn it. I made 10,000 instead of 10,100.
Yeah, that's that thing about being right kicking in again. You know what I mean? That's what happens there.
Well, I also have the problem too, is a lot of times I'll be like, let's say I'm up 10,000 on the day, and then I enter a trade, and now I'm down. Now I'm up 8,000 on the day. Like I just get obsessed with wanting to get back to 10,000. Of course. And then before I know it, I'm down 10,000 on the day. Yeah. How does that work? I don't get it. Yeah. It's mind blowing.
I mean, it's that 2-year-old child that kicks in.
Do you think it's
that
like
tantrum child that just wants to take trades?
It's got to be. I don't know. It's got to be something. Just like I think it's
a rational brain that disappears. I mean, there's a guy, Randy Howell, that I mean, again, instrumental in my trading growth, and he said your brain just thinks like a 2-year-old. You're just not rational anymore. You can't even concentrate. And that's why a lot of times, and a lot of the people on the stream here will be able to attest to this, you look back at your chart, you think, what the hell was I doing? It's because you're irrational, right? It's like when you get angry. You get angry, you do stuff, you say stuff, and then you look back, it's like, why did I even say that? Irrational brain. Yeah. Right?
Well, I think maybe it's, has to play into like, our brains are basically wired so that like, it protects us, right?
Of course.
Our brains are trying to stop us from like hurting ourselves. Yeah. So when we're in a trade, it's very easy for our brain to be like, Patrick, take profit, take profit, take profit, take profit. Yeah. Because I'm just like mentally, my brain's like, you don't want to lose, take profit, take profit. Yeah. And the same thing is like when you're in the red, your brain is now going, hold on to it.
Yeah, it'll come back. It's gonna go back.
It's like your brain is basically doing everything the opposite of how you're supposed to trade. Right. I read the Mark Douglas Trading in the Zone book. What's funny about that book is I tell people, I'm like, that book is not just about trading. Yeah. It's about business. It's about life. It's about being a man. Like it's a lot. Like trading is so I don't even know how to pronounce it, but like trading is so it's just like life. Like you said, it's kind of life, right? Like if you don't have your life in line, your trading won't be in line. 100%. Like you gotta find consistency across the board.
You do. I mean, you got to change stuff in your personal life for it to affect your trading, and vice versa. You know what I mean? You have to. You just have to.
Yeah, no, I went from going out partying all the time, having a good time all the time, and I found out that that's not sustainable. It is not You cannot have a good time all the time.
Yes.
As much as you want to, as much as you just want to make money every day and just fucking party and go on the boat, bunch of hot girls and dance around naked and all that stuff. I mean, as much as I want to do that, I can't do that basically. Yeah. So now I only do it on the weekend.
It's not. And I mean, again, it's social media, right? Everyone sees the life, right? The life,
I had an influencer over the weekend. Everyone's always coming at me. She's like, "Don't worry, guys. Right now, I'm working on a video to prove that I made $300,000, and I'm going to prove it. And it's like, wait. Why are you working on a video? Like, what's the video going to contain? Some kind of information that nobody else knows? Like, why don't you just fucking show the proof? I'm going to work on a video to prove it. Like, what's the video about? I thought the whole video is like you made money or not. I don't get what it's about.
Click, print, broker statement,
hold
done.
on a second, I got to fix this.
Yeah.
Daniel Hussey in the chat, great little need. You can't be trading from a place of need.
100%, Daniel. I agree with that. You're back against the wall financially. Don't trade, bro. Don't.
Well, the guys who hit me up, they're like, Patrick, I got $100 left, and I really want to buy an account, but I need $50 more. I'm like, if you got $100 left and that's all you got, like, don't be trading.
Dude, I
Go
tell
get a
that
job.
all the time. And I mean, everyone on the chat bot, my COO, everyone knows, dude. If you find a guy like that, tell him not to buy an account. I mean, again, because you're not going to make it. You're just not.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
I get people that hit me up. They want a discount for my course. It's $199, which I understand it's expensive.
Yeah.
For people in like Ethiopia, but like that's pretty much the price of a Starbucks coffee these days.
Right.
And I tell people like, oh, I can't afford your course. I'm like, well, then you can't afford to trade.
Right.
If $199 is going to break the bank for you, then it's totally fine. I'm going to tell you, like, just don't buy it.
Yeah.
Because guess what? You're going to end up losing $5,000 trading.
Agreed.
Either way.
Agreed.
I have people that are like, Patrick, I really want to buy your course, but I'm going to wait till I get my first payout. I'm like, hold on a second. So wait, you're going to wait to get your first payout and then you're going to buy the course?
Right.
That'll make no sense to me.
Yeah. A lot of people say, oh, no, exactly. I'll wait for my first payout. No, it's just backwards. But, and again, I mean, with the prop firm today, this is how I see it. And when we found FFN, the prop firm is there as a tool, and you need to give yourself 2 or 3 months to use the tool to get better. Use and that this is probably true for certain prop firms, but use the tool to get better. You get the data, you get the platform, get used to the platform, get into the trading space, get into a Discord, get into whatever, and then use that give yourself 2 or 3 months. And with our introductory calls, and on our website, you can book an introductory call at any time, and it's a live call with one of our executives or one of our staff members. You can find out, you can have your questions answered, and they'll tell you. Give yourself 2 or 3 months. Don't try and pass in 1 month. Don't try and give your last $52 to a $25,000 account that's on a credit card. Don't do that.
I think if I buy an account, I want to have an onboarding call with you.
Yeah.
Better be you. It better be. I want VIP service.
Ooh, that's going to be an expensive account.
What's your most popular account? People in the chat were asking.
50,000.
50,000. I like the 50K accounts.
Yeah.
People always think that the 150K accounts are like better because you have like this 150K account, but I think 50K at most prop firms ends up kind of being your best bang for your buck.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I mean the 50K is the most popular because it's under $100, and especially with our 50% off. And a lot of times we run a BOGO sale where you buy one get one free, so you get 2 accounts for the same for a price.
That right there is a killer deal actually.
We will eventually run one again.
Okay.
However, in a 50 grand account, your drawdown is almost the same as your profit target, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
However, you get two contracts with us. You can trade with two minis, but people over leverage it. They slap on 2 minis. Dude, you only got a $2,000 drawdown. Like 2 minis in the NQ, that's crazy to try and trade that, man.
Well, that's always been my argument with the prop firm space. With prop firm CEOs is I hate how the fact of like everyone pushes this narrative of like, hey, you're buying a 150K account. It's like, no, you're buying a $3,000 drawdown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's that. I mean, the
$150,000 account. Yeah, 100%. That's the size of your account. The 150,000 just depicts the size of the account of how many contracts you can take in the real world. If you have a $150,000 account in the real world, you can take 4 contracts.
You have that margin.
Correct.
I had a guy one time. He's like, Patrick. So I went on this website and I saw that you could buy an account for only $150. But what's to stop me from just buying the account and then just not trading and then withdrawing the money? I'm like, what's stopping you from doing? I've been fucking reality, you fucking crazy person.
Yeah, I know. I mean, again, people don't understand prop firms.
No,
right?
I know.
They get into the prop firm space and they just don't understand how it works. But
yeah, and then it's funny too because there's always like this whole there's a lot of fear mongering in the prop firm space, and to be honest, like no offense to prop firm CEOs, but I think a lot of you fuckers like you do it on purpose because everybody wants to like try to act like they've got some kind of inner knowledge of what's going on over everybody else, and it's like at a point now where like everyone's like no this is what's gonna happen, but like guess what? I'm still sitting here and I'm like they're like the prop firm space is gonna change forever next week. I'm like It's next week. Nothing happened. Like, oh shit. You know, like, oh my God. Because the way I look at it too is, at the end of the day, I think the prop firm really is the best use of capital for a new trader.
Agreed.
Right? You pay $50 for a 50K account. Mm-hmm. You have a rule set that you have to follow. It's not just trading trading in a simulated account. It's not just trading in, you put $500 of your own money into an account. Like this really forces you to like follow the rules, to like be a part of something. And it's like, it almost like, it makes it legitimate, right? Like you now have like this like real kind of like, you're like, you have to answer to somebody.
Yeah.
You got to answer to Kevin. Like if you fuck up, he's going to call you at 3 a.m. and be like, what are you doing over there?
And we do.
Yeah.
We do.
So that's the benefit of trading through a prop firm. I know people in the chat are like, but Patrick, you just say that because you make money from the prop firms. But I've been on both sides, right? Like I've been a new trader. Yeah. When I first started out, I had no way of trading, number one, because of PDT. Back in the day, pattern, I think, well, same shit now, but pattern day trader rule would not allow me to trade stocks because I only had $500. Like I needed $25,000, and I was like, 23 years old, 24 years old. How the fuck am I going to get $25,000 to put into an account to trade? Right. And then the minute that I take my first trade, I'm already in drawdown, and I've lost the PDT rule.
Yeah.
So I think the future space has really opened up this amazing market for new traders to actually be able to trade. I love the fact I tell people, I'm like, hey, I trade the NASDAQ because every day I wake up and I just trade the NASDAQ. I don't care what stock has news. I don't care what's going on. I just want to trade the same exact thing every day because it's consistent. Right? If you're jumping every day, like today I'm going to trade options. Tomorrow I'm going to trade crypto. And then I'm going to trade futures. And then I'm going to trade this. And then I'm going to do this. Like, there's no consistency there at all. Dude.
I mean, that's just a lot. I mean, I think honestly, just pick one thing, pick one strategy and get good at it. Pick one ticker, pick NQES, whatever it is. Pick one product, pick one strategy and get good in that over the next 3-4 months. Get consistent in that and then you can build. You know what I mean?
Do you think more people trade the NASDAQ or the ES at your firm?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know. I'm going to probably say the NASDAQ, yes.
Yeah, because it just attracts all the degenerates.
Dude, it's because it moves so fast, and you can make so much money or you can lose the same amount of money.
Yeah. Everyone's like, I love people like they first start trading, they're like, Patrick, I just started trading the NASDAQ because I love it. It's so volatile. I'm like, oh yeah. Just wait, my friend.
It's volatile the other direction too.
Yeah. Just wait till you see how volatile it really is. It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
You have to understand it. You have to know that, hey, this is what the NASDAQ loves to do. It loves to trap. It loves to chop. It loves to like just do freaky shit.
Yeah.
Because it's very volatile.
Just a beast on its own, man.
Yeah. The ES, I feel like the ES itself is more of like it's kind of like a train.
Right.
In the sense of like when there's a level that the ES is moving to, it's just kind of like it's just kind of like moving. It's just going to move to that level, and then it's going to find resistance and going to move to the next level. Where the NASDAQ's just like, it's all over the place, and all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, we didn't go anywhere.
Right, yeah.
Like, I love those days where the market's literally, like, candles are 50 points up and down, and then you look, you're like, wait, we're still at the open.
Yeah.
Like, the market hasn't even moved, and we somehow had 50-point candles.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, the NASDAQ loves to run stop first before it goes in your direction. I mean, I can't tell you. And I mean, I think the one time I punched my screen was when it did that to me. It was chopping along the side, and again, I had my setup came, and I took along, and it came and took my stop to the tick, and then just went in that direction.
Right to the tick.
You know what I mean?
We had Nutty Bar here the other day talking about shot in the tick. Don't get shot in the tick.
Yeah, right. Shot the tick.
If you were going to give a couple pieces of advice, I think you've been dropping some advice along the way, but if you're going to give some pieces of advice to new traders out there who are getting into the prop firm space, they're starting to trade futures, what would be kind of just some general advice, things that they should kind of focus on more than anything?
You know what? Don't try and hit it out of the park every day, man, because you're not. Don't over leverage your account, and I tell people this all the time. With a $50,000 account, don't even touch minis. Go trade micros. And don't go trade 20 micros because that's same as 2 minis. Go trade like 5 micros, even 4 micros. Get consistent at it. You know what I mean? And I had a trader do that one day, and I said to him, don't touch the micros with your minis with your 50 grand account. And then I said to him, you blew your account. He said, yeah, but I was trading micros. I said, yeah, but 20 of them at a time, bro. Come on.
I had 20 of them. What are you talking about? You said trade micros.
So, no, I mean, people over leverage these size of accounts. And a lot of times people ask us to open their accounts, and I'm yet to see someone in the funded account increase their contracts and stay there. We've had one guy do that. Only one. Out of all our traders, and we've had over 16,000 accounts. So, I mean, and that's a lot.
Yeah.
So again, I've only seen one guy increase his contracts and actually stay there, because as soon as they make the $3,000 profit, they want to increase it to $6,000. And that's on a $150,000.
That's pretty funny because I actually I talked to Matt from Optimus Futures, so he runs an IB. And it's funny because he says the same exact thing, right? He has so many people come to him that open accounts, and the first thing they do is they over leverage and they blow up their account because you just can't you can't handle the drawdown. Like if you go in with 5 minis on a $10,000 account, you're gonna blow up real quick.
Dude, especially on the NASDAQ, man.
Yeah, and the NASDAQ is just built to blow up accounts.
And think about it this way, put this into perspective for you. You're trading on a $50,000 account. You got a $2,000 drawdown, right? So you trade 2 contracts on the NASDAQ. Like how quick can you make $2,000 on a NASDAQ with 2 contracts? Real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, again, if it was that easy, putting $2,000, taking 2 contracts and making $2,000, doubling your account size, everyone would be a millionaire. It's not.
Wait. I thought everyone already is a millionaire.
Oh,
everyone in my chat's always a millionaire. I swear. They always be trying to give me all the info.
But I mean, trading was really rewarding for me, and it is still to this day. And it's rewarding when you have your first payout or your first withdrawal. I mean, I remember the first time I took a withdrawal out of my broker account, dude. It felt so liberating.
Well, that's what's so cool about it, right? Like, because it really is like, as much as, hey, Funded Futures Network, it'll help traders. Like you said, like it's up to the trader, right? Yeah. So for a trader to buy an account, to pass the account, and then get a payout, it's on them, right? They have to follow there are rules. Like as much as you want to help traders, you can't stop them from blowing up. Yeah. So it is I think it's so rewarding, at least for me. Like I've been doing this for 8 years now, and I know I always say that, but I've been doing this for 8 years, and it's like I feel fucking badass because I'm like I did something that millions of people will never be able to do.
Agreed.
Right? Like I've done it. And I've done it consistently. And I've been on YouTube for 8 years. Like I've seen more people come and go than I've seen stay. Yeah. And there's a reason for that. Everybody everybody wants to like come at me constantly. Like, hey, I just got on YouTube. I want to destroy you. And I'm like, good luck, brother. Like as many people that have come at me have also disappeared into the ether. And guess what? I'm still here. Yeah. And it's like I've went through a lot, up, down. I had bad, I had good. But it really, once I got to the point where I was like, I'm gonna stop fucking around. I'm gonna stop worrying about my P&L. I'm gonna stop worrying about getting rich in one trade. And I'm just gonna like get that consistency. Now I look at my P&L and I'm like, holy shit! Yeah, I made $120,000 in 20 days.
It's rewarding to know that you can do what probably 90% of people can't.
It's not. I'd say fucking 95% of people.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, and it's crazy too because I talk to like obviously every prop firm out there, but it is crazy the actual percentage of people that never get payouts. Yeah. Right. Like there's so many people on the internet that act like they're goddamn Warren Buffett, but the stats don't lie. Right. There's a very small percentage of traders who actually get payouts.
100%.
But again, 100%. That's the business, right? What you're offering is a platform and a way for people to leverage, basically to buy leverage, to basically buy us into a program. And then if they actually follow the program, they can get to a point where they get a payout and then possibly go into a live account and find, success as a trader. Right. But obviously, like, hey, most people will end up failing. Does that make prop firms a bad thing? No. It just gives people an opportunity to basically go through this system, find some type of success, but most will fail, along the way. And people like have so much like, oh, prop firms are a scam. But it's like, if a prop firm pays out, if a prop firm has clear rules and a prop firm like basically delivers on the product that they're offering, it's not a scam. Right. Yeah. Right? Like, you're going to have customers who are going to be butthurt because they're going to be pissed. And like, oh, man, this platform's a scam. Yeah, of course. But it's like, why are we a scam? Well, because I blew my account. Yeah, and I'm like, well, why'd you blow up your account? Well, I was trading 5 contracts. Yeah. It's like, well, that's not our problem.
That's the biggest thing. I mean, again, when you go and tilt, and you blow your account, I mean, immediately it's someone else's fault, right?
Oh, no, guaranteed. Well, no one ever like, if somebody, that's my favorite too, is like, if somebody really enjoys Funded Futures Network and they get paid out, everything that you guys did, everything you provide, if they get everything, like they're not going to be like motivated to go on fucking YouTube and make a whole hour-long video about how you guys are the best ever. Yeah, right. Right, because they're happy. Like they're like, hey, Kevin, like, thanks for offering a great product. Like they love it, but they're not going to go out of their way to like talk shit or like promote you. Whereas the guy who blows up his account because he was trading 10 contracts and he's pissed off because you called him and told him to cut it off and then you fucking kicked him out. Dude. He's going to go on YouTube and be like, this fucking guy is just a scammer.
Dude, I can tell you now, man, I've called people that are in the funded account and I literally call their phone. I said to you, close your trades. Close your trades. I'm going to close them for you. And he closed it, and then he's mad at me. And then the next morning he calls me, he says, hey, man, you know what? Thank you. I needed that. I said, I know.
Yeah.
I said, I'm sorry I wasn't asked. Yeah, I get it. I know.
Well, that's
but you
the whole
need
point.
that accountability. You need that.
Yeah.
You sometimes need that smack on the back of the head, right? I mean, I do. You know? The smack on the back of the head is usually my bank account.
I get a lot of smacks in the back of the head over the years, you know? Fucking A.
See my knobs here?
Yeah,
I got a
both
few.
got 'em. It's nothing to do with getting smacked in the back of the head. All right, look at the NASDAQ again. I love the NASDAQ because, well, not that I love it, but I love these types of setups where it does exactly kind of like what we talk about. This like dipping down here, getting these shorts excited. You get people that are like, oh, we're breaking a key level. It's time to get short. And then it just rips to the moon. And again, it's just bigger time frames, my friend. Keep an eye on the bigger time frames, right? Keep an eye on the bigger time frames. What is the trend doing? The trend is your friend. Trend's still pushing up. We're above that pivot. We're breaking through key levels. Like there's no reason to get short until it's a short. You know, market's going to pull back to 11:25 in the afternoon. I mean, that's just normal type of price action, kind of pulling back, testing levels. Does it mean that I want to go short 20 contracts and try to ride it down to the VWAP? No. Well, could it possibly happen? Sure. But as of right now, it's like, hey, just let the market do what it's going to do until it fucking really gives me something that really gets me excited. I mean, if I'm looking for a short here, like I would have to see this basically like dip below here, maybe push back up, find resistance, and then go down. But again, I also have a rule that I don't like shorting above the VWAP. Do you have any, like, I'm sure you do. Everyone, I feel like success has like just rules that you can't break.
Yeah, VWAP's one of them.
Yeah.
And again, I very rarely take a long above the 21.
Okay.
I mean, I want it to dip below because and it's usually when it dips below is usually when I get the divergence, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's perfect, right? Because and people get pissed at me, they're like, Patrick, it's a short. I'm like, well, it might be a short. It might pull back.
You got to listen to your rules, man.
That whenever I fuck around, I find out.
Oh, a hard way, man.
You know, like, so why would I do something that I know?
Yeah.
You know, when I look at my data, when I look at my stats, I'm like, hey, this was a trade that I took. I took a short above the VWAP and I got chopped up, and then I lost a trade. Yeah. So it's like, why would I, like, I've touched fire enough times to know that I'm going to get burnt.
Yeah.
Agreed. You know, I've been out in the sun enough times to know that if I don't wear sunblock, I'm going to get fucking sunburn.
Yeah.
And guess what? I wear sunblock now.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm ginger, and I'm like, no matter how much I believe that I'm immune to the world and I'm never gonna die and I'm gonna live forever, like,
right.
I'll get skin cancer. I'm gonna die. I already had skin cancer. I had to get it fucking cut off my back. So like,
right.
You know, but somebody on the internet be like, Patrick, you don't need sunblock.
Yeah.
Sunblock, you don't need that.
Yeah. Of course.
The same thing with trading. Everybody's like, goddamn, I'm always amazed. I'm honestly amazed on how many people in my chat are just like the best traders in the world. I'm like, man, it is such a compliment to myself that I show up here live on YouTube every day and the best traders around the world show up to watch me and then tell me what to do.
Right.
Like how you know, like people would pay to have 4,000 people that are just the best traders in the whole entire world teaching them how to trade every day.
Right.
It's the best.
Yeah. No, I mean, you asked what else? One of my rules.
Undeniable rules.
One undeniable rule. If I get up in the morning and I'm not feeling it, like I'm irritated, or I'm just not. I go sit at my desk and something's just irritating me, or I'm just not feeling it. I don't even open my chart, dude. I won't even open my chart. Because that's the biggest problem I've had in my past is I just don't feel it, and then I'm forcing trades, or I'm doing stupid stuff. I just won't.
And but you know, it's funny to ask this question, like why you learned, right? You learn that if you're not in the right mindset, if you're not in the right psyche, that you're not going to have good results.
Yeah, and I mean
consistently, like you might get lucky, you know, you might be pissed off one day, like fuck it, I'm going 20 long and open. I'll
that's
make
exactly
$1 million,
what happens. You size over because, and I see it with the guys trading too. You know, they start $200 in the hole, and then $400 in the hole, and then $600 in the hole, and all of a sudden it goes from 2 contracts to 3, and then 3 to 4, and then 4 to 6, and see you later. When you're down and you size up, it's the wrong direction to size up, my friend.
I feel like you're talking about me sometimes, but you know, honestly, that's the worst, right? Like you get into a trade. Let's say you put on you're trading a couple of funded accounts, and you put on maybe 5 contracts total,
right?
Like of all accounts. So now you basically have one contract per account, and it goes against you. You get stopped out, and you're like, "Fuck it, I'll just go long. I'll just go short."
Yeah.
2 contracts per account. So now I got 10 contracts. So if I go short 2, and it's going to pull back, like I'm going to make back the loss and more. And then all of a sudden I short, and then it goes higher. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Of course.
Like if I
it's designed that way, man. It's designed that way.
That is the psychological trading. Like you said, the 21 EMA, right? Yep. And the reason that you like that is because you're like, you know that if you get in long and it's far away from that 21 EMA, guess what?
It's going to come get me.
It's going to pull back and stop me out anyway.
And then it's going to turn around and go in my direction.
Exactly. That's the thing too. Is like I tell people, I'm like, hey, if you're looking for a long and we're close to the 21 EMA or whatever it is, like, okay, if you get long here, where's your stop at?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's at the 21 EMA. I'm like, what? So you're going to stop out where you would normally get long?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happens. Exactly.
Like if I had $1 for every time that I did some stupid shit trading, I'd be a fucking billionaire.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
What time frame for the 21 EMA? You have a special time frame that you look at?
Well, I trade on the 1 minute.
1 minute, okay.
Yep, I trade on 1 minute.
No 1 second charts.
No, dude. And you know what? You speak about the 1 second chart. There's something else that other people need to understand about trading.
Yeah.
Like, look, your risk management isn't just on your charts, my friend.
Yeah. Okay.
Your risk management is your internet connection. It's your computer. How good computer do you have? We've got guys trying to trade on a Wi-Fi that runs 3 megs a minute, copper trading 10 accounts with 10 micros per account on a computer that's got maybe 3 gigs of RAM. Come on, man.
I don't understand why it doesn't. My computer froze.
Why didn't it take my trades? Well, my friend, the biggest problem. And again, you know what? In our chat, the staff will go in and diagnose what the problem is. If it's on our side, we'll stand behind it 100%. However, 90% of the time, it comes down to his internet connection or where he is, or again, computer related. And we have the specs on our website to say like you need this to be able to trade one account. And then try and copy trade 5 or 10 accounts like that, and it creates a mess. Like, I mean, again, I'm pretty sure I look at the setup around here. You got a mean machine. You can run your stream. You can run your internet's good. Everything's good, and you can trade that way. And you still sometimes have a glitch. So
I know. Fucking this computer. I spent so much money on this computer, and it still freezes.
Like, I mean, mine, dude. I've got a 1 gig fiber right into the back of and it's dedicated to. I've got 2 internet lines in my house. One where I trade, and one for the kids. And no one touches my internet into my computer because I need to have my charts up. Because I've learned, and again, that's on me to curb that issue or to manage that risk, right? Like, you would never find me in a restaurant, flip up my laptop and try and take trades. Never in my life. I'll never do that.
You'd be like,
does it work? Sure, but for how long?
Hello, Funded Futures Network. This is Patrick. Yeah, I'm actually on my sailboat in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and for some reason, I just cannot place trades. I don't know what the issue is, but can you guys figure this out? Because I'm not making any money.
You have no idea how many times that happens.
On a sailboat? A lot of traders on sailboats.
Not a sailboat, but somewhere in some.
Patrick, hello.
In the middle of.
I'm in the middle of fucking Ethiopia, and I'm out here mining right now.
Using a giraffe as antenna for his Wi-Fi, right?
I put the fucking Wi-Fi signal on the giraffe.
Dude, it's crazy, man. And again, the staff will go in, they'll diagnose the problem, they'll tell them, like, listen, you can't do this, man. Like, I mean, the specs are there. Go look at them. You need to, again, for you, if you're going to manage put your own money at risk, are you going to just trade wherever? No. Well, it's no different with a prop firm. Anywhere you trade,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trading. I could have traded this morning. I'm not trading today. I just don't. I'm got other stuff going on. I'm traveling today. I'm here visiting with you guys.
That's another. I think that's like a rule I have as well because it's hard, right? Because it's easy to trade now. Like you can pull your laptop out, fucking sit at the airport, whatever it is. And those are always like the fuck up days. Like I'll be at the airport and I'm like, I'll just put like one little trade on, while I'm waiting. And then I open up my laptop, I put a trade on, all of a sudden it goes against me, and I'm like, well, fuck. And then I start, going on tilt. Yeah. So it's like if I'm gonna trade, I want everything just dialed in. I want to be at my computer. I want to sit there. I want to focus. I want to be in the zone mentally.
Yeah, agreed.
Because again, like you said, it's like it's not just about your trading having like stop losses. It's about like also the mental, right? Because like if I'm not mentally there, if I'm not mentally like able to follow the rules and my plan, then I'm just gonna hurt myself. And it's like I'm not gonna be able to stop out. I'm not gonna be able to walk away when I'm down, whatever it is, because now I'm just gonna create more anxiety, I guess, fucking FOMO or whatever the issue is.
I mean, again, not just that, the risk of airport Wi-Fi, bro, is shit to start with.
Yeah.
And now you try and trade on it. Like, no, man, I don't do that. I mean, I lived in Mexico for 2 months, and I tried to trade from there, and eventually I just quit. Like, it just didn't work, I was in an Airbnb.
I will say, I did trade on a boat in Costa Rica with Starlink.
Right.
Starlink is pretty
it's
good.
a different story. Okay, Starlink is stable.
You can trade with Starlink.
Yeah, Starlink is a little different. But,
Yeah.
but still, I mean, again, I personally,
agree. No, I 100% agree.
That's just one of my rules.
Yeah.
And again, we see it
great.
often with guys. They blow their accounts, and then it's like, what happened? The staff goes in diagnosis. And it's not a blame game. We're not trying to get around stuff. We're trying to help the traders so that it doesn't happen again. Right? A lot of people think it's a blame, but it's not. It's trying to find out what is the issue, and let's curb this from happening again to this guy, right?
There you go.
So,
well, we've been on here for about an hour and a half now, just dropping knowledge, talking life. Again, anyone who's just now tuning in, we got Kevin here from the Funded Futures Network. Give me the sales pitch. Just give me the 1 minute. I've never heard of Funded Futures Network. Sell me on it.
Do I really?
I will say one thing really quick before you start. I want to preface this, big words here, but I will give you credit because when we first talked, we kind of talked about like, hey, the PW effect. Like if I talk, if we promote blah blah blah, like what's it gonna do? And you said, Patrick, to be honest, like I don't really want 10,000 new customers. I don't really want 5,000 customers tomorrow. Like I would love, to obviously get those over, a certain time period. But like for me, for our business, like we prefer to, slowly get new customers and not just have like a 10,000 customer rush in one day because we're not going to be able to service the customers up to our level that we want to service them.
Agreed.
It's not that you don't want to go hire more customer service reps, but like today, if you fucking have 10,000 more customers, like now all of a sudden you have a whole issue of problems because you can't actually give that level of service that you want to give to your customers.
Agreed.
So I will give you credit to that because you did tell me, you're like, I don't really, I was like, I'll give you 10,000 customers. You're like, well, hold on. Yeah. So give us the pitch. What's the pitch here?
Yeah, I mean, we're very trader focused, right? And again, like you said, I don't want to have 10,000 people through the door tomorrow because we can't do 10,000 phone calls. We can't do 10,000 onboarding calls. We don't have the capacity to do that. Yes, sure. As we grow, we will be able to. And again, I don't know where we are, what's happening in the office at the moment, but
I heard there's 9,000 new customers.
I better go then. Just kidding. Again, we'll probably shut the doors and say, hey, okay, this is enough, because we want to give that little bit more personal touch to the trader, make sure that they set up right, make sure that they have what they need before they actually start to trade the account. And again, that's something that's probably an industry first. Our live dashboard, I don't know if anyone else has that now, but we were first to the industry with that. Our trader dashboard's live, so you don't have to wait till end of day till you passed. And then our customer service. We don't have overnight customer service, but we have during the office during the daytime between 6 and 6. We have like a 10-second turnaround. I think we're under 10 seconds actually. The metric in FFN is 20 seconds. You have 20 seconds to answer that customer. And again, anything going over that comes straight to me, and it'll be a conversation at the end of the week with whoever took the ticket or whatever the case may be. Now, we can't sort out stuff in 20 seconds, but you'll get an answer. You won't be left hanging for days and days and days. That's on our chat function and in our Discord. And then, of course, we have the risk manager call, which is also something that we offer. People got to take it. It's not mandatory, but again, it's a risk manager assigned to you that actually here to help you with your trade. It's a guy that knows what he's doing, that's been trading for a while, that's successful at trading to help you. That's what we focus on.
I like it. Your 20-second goal is kind of the same as mine. I tell my girlfriend, I'm like, listen, babe, if I make it over 20 seconds, it's a good day.
Right.
If I can last more than 20 seconds, you should be happy.
Yeah, right.
Like 10 seconds is the goal, but I'll take 20 if I need it.
Yeah.
All right, NASDAQ is still just chopping around here at this pivot point right here. This is not like I've talked about before. Is this a bear flag or is this a bull flag? Well, I might not be a smart man, Jenny, but it don't look like no bear flag just yet. So, as much as people in the chat want to go short and want to say the market's going to go back to the fucking, back down here, no point in forcing it. Look at it. It's just kind of setting up, just kind of dwindling down. It's not been like, we haven't had like a a big drop candle. We haven't had like any type of like, you know, really big momentum to the downside. So this is just bullish consolidation. You know, we pushed up to this level. We kind of just been dipping. Like these little pullbacks, they're nothing out of the norm. You know, it's not like, oh my God, the market's going to zero. Don't get too excited. Just be patient. Look for those right opportunities. And like Kevin said, just, you know, stay on it. I don't think he said that, but I'm just, you know, just prefacing. just summarizing basically. Do you have a profit target? Like a goal, like every day? Are you like, I need to make 100,000? How do you do that?
I don't have a set profit. I mean, again, everyone has a profit target you want to make a day, right?
Yeah, like a mental. But like, do you have like a hard? You're like, I gotta make $10,000 a day.
I mean, I aim to do 20 a month is what I aim at.
Okay.
However, I mean, again, you need that number. For me, when I work out my trades, I need that number to know, okay, do I take one? Do I take two contracts? What do I do here? You know, so per contract per day is about $1,000, you know. So that's about what I look at.
So wait, hold on. Your goal is 20,000 for the month, but like my favorite influencer online makes $1 million a day. So clearly he must be just really, really good.
He must be. He must be.
I like you, Kevin.
I'm not greedy, bro. I've been humbled by the market way too many times, man.
Yeah,
and you know what? Again, 20 grand a month. Like honestly, really 20 grand a month. If that's not enough, like you gotta. Sure, maybe a bigger goals. Maybe to me that's more than enough for me. I'm happy with that.
I mean, the funny part is most people will work a full-time job and make like, you know, $6,000 a month, but then they're like, no, I got to make $100,000 a month trading.
Right.
And you're like, but wait, what? You'd literally you're working 40 hours a week to make $6,000 a month, but you won't be happy with $20,000 a month.
Yeah. Working 3 hours a day, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, trading literally is the ultimate, just like fuck you to like conventional society, right?
Correct.
You can trade at night, you can do it on the road, you can do it anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. It doesn't matter what's you know, sex that you think you are, or whatever.
Right.
Like you can be anybody. And you could find success, and that's what I love about it, right? Like it is literally any single. I found people. I got a guy in India. This guy in India, I'm like amazed. He's like, Patrick, you know, I watch your live streams and I made $500 this week. Like $500 in fucking India. I'm like, that's fucking sick. Congrats, bro. I'm like, that's awesome. Like, the dude's fucking, he's gonna be up in there just fucking do, you know?
Yeah.
But like, that's how cool it is. Cause I'm over here like bragging about how I'm up 120, but this guy's like, he made $500 and he's fucking thinks he's the king of India now.
Dude, he probably is.
He probably is. You know, he's like just out there dropping bands.
You know, and again, you know, you ask for 20,000 a month. Sure. Can I slap 5-6 contracts on there and make 50,000, 100,000? Sure.
But that's,
you know,
again, hey,
but
that's a great point. Right
am I okay losing 25 grand at a time? No, probably not.
No.
You know?
Well, that's the thing too, though. I'm sure, you know, your mental kind of like goal is like, hey, if I want to try to like aim for $20,000 a month, but if you trade really well, the market gives you opportunities. Are you going to be mad when you make 30?
No, and I mean, dude, have I had 100 grand months? Absolutely, I have. Have I had 50 or, you know, absolutely.
They're going to call the CME, be like, hey guys, I made over 20 this month. Can I return this money? You know, it's just been too easy this month. I need to return it.
I mean, I posted in my Discord. A guy challenged me not too long ago, and I put in my Discord there. Said, hey, can you make $5 grand a month with one contract? Yeah. And I posted the results of my daily trading in the Discord there, and I think I did $7,000.
You went too high.
Yeah, probably. Oops, my bad.
I like it.
But again, I mean, it's focusing. I don't like to focus on the money aspect, Patrick, because then you have a goal. I need to make $1,000 today. Oof. Bro, you're going to get to $997 and enter another trade and end up at zero.
I've been there. Yeah. The $9.99 trade, you end up, you look at the P&L, you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm so goddamn close to 1,000.
Yeah. Slap on 2 contracts quick.
Contracts just you think you're gonna like just get a quick $20 and all of a sudden you're now down 10,000.
Yeah, agreed.
Story of my life, baby. Story of my life. Well, big thank you, Kevin, for coming in here today, dropping some knowledge. And all that fun stuff. Where I think people can kind of figure it out where to find you, but fundoffuturesnetwork.com, right?
Yep. Yeah, we on your page as well, on the prop fund pages, so you can find me there. And
you're the BDH. What's it been like?
Great. I love it.
Do you think is a Lamborghini, is it real, you think, or do you think it's fake?
I'm not going to expose you now, Patrick, but I think it's hollow on the inside. I don't think there's anything in there.
Yeah, there's no engine in that thing.
I did hear it drive, though. So.
Yeah, no, it does. Every once in a while, what we do is we hook it to the back of another car and we
must
just pull
have a Beetle engine in the back, right?
Yeah, put a little Volkswagen bug in the engine in the back there.
I tell you what, I like the Lambo, but this truck outside here gets me.
Ooh, I like it.
The big old F350. I mean, that's me.
Yeah. That's my, you know, that's like I tell people, I'm like, that's my daily driver. I just drive around that thing like I'm the goddamn king.
Dude, I got a big F350 like that. I didn't come down here with it because it's a fight in the highway with the thing, and I probably drive over a couple of people on the way down here. But
well, I also feel like it's just also like safe. You know, like driving around. Like, I'm not worried about me killing myself driving. I'm worried about like somebody crashing into me and killing me.
I mean, they're going under you if they hit you, right? So
exactly. I mean, like if they hit me, like I'm gonna be all right. Like, I literally, my girlfriend Victoria, we got an Escalade that she drives around, and she's like, "Oh, I want something smaller." I'm like, "No, you don't." Yeah. Because if some fucking moron runs through a red light and slams into you, you're gonna be totally fine.
Agreed.
Yeah. And that's why I like the bigger cars. It might be because I'm American, but I mean,
I prefer bigger cars too. You got some idiot that hits you, or I mean, even my daughter. I bought her a Taurus. I didn't buy her a little Jimny or whatever. Yeah. I bought her a bigger car so she's safer. You know what I mean? Just is what it is.
No, I mean, hey, cars can only be replaced, but life cannot.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. Well, hey, big thank you for stopping by the BDH today. It's always a pleasure to have guests in here, and
yes, sir.
I love your just straight shooter type no bullshit attitude.
Absolutely, man. Thank you, Patrick.
Maybe it's a little like a South African thing. I feel like I think most South Africans are just pretty like straightforward.
We are.
Good people.
Yeah.
So there it is.
Yes, sir.
People in the chat, if you want to learn more, you know where to go. And who knows? Maybe we'll have Kevin back here sooner than later, and we'll see how all this plays out. Right now, the NASDAQ, that bull flag, this could be the